Hi everyone. So in this video, I want to bring the awareness back onto our authenticity, because when we are manifesting, embracing our authenticity is actually the easiest way for us to navigate in our 3D reality. So when we come back into our authenticity, we are actually embracing that higher consciousness within. We are embracing the connection that we have within ourselves and the connection that we have to our higher selves. So because we do this, and the more that we continue to do this, this is actually how our power becomes more influential then onto our society, and how the people, places and things conform to us and what it is that we are embracing within. So, when you get into that real genuine confidence, that confidence where you're just showing up as yourself and not actually thinking about what anybody else is thinking about you or saying or anything like that, you're just kind of happy in being yourself, you will actually find that things unfold in a more kind of easy and effortless way. You're not really thinking that much about how things are going, and things just kind of effortlessly happen for you because you're showing up in this way. So when we are manifesting, this is the key to getting into our manifestation journey. It's the key is coming back into our authentic self. So when we spiral, or when we have days that we feel like things are not changing, or we get frustrated with the outside world, we always want to bring back the awareness to who am I right now in this moment. If I am looking out into my 3D world and I don't like what I see, well, that means I'm just allowing my 3D world to identify me in this moment, which means I'm not being my authentic self. If my circumstances are able to get a reaction out of me, that means I'm allowing my circumstances more power over who I truly am, and I'm allowing my circumstances to dictate my identity, my self-worth, my value, my love, and all of the possibilities that are true for me in my reality. And so when we are wanting to create different outcomes in our world, we want to come into this awareness of understanding that that's actually all we are, is an awareness. So when we bring the awareness back onto ourselves, we take a few minutes to come back within and actually raise that power within us through our affirmations or visualizations or anything that we are doing to actually keep reminding us that our authenticity is actually the most powerful aspect to manifest. And the more we continue to do that, the less the 3D and the circumstances will trigger us. Because remember, everything is just an awareness of where we are on our belief system. So if things are not showing up in our reality right now, the more we continue to tell ourselves a new reality, that is actually going to end up being our story. But when we react, and look, at we're human, and this is always going to be something that is going to be a part of the human experience, it's really just all about how long are we going to stay there and reacting. And even when we look at Dr. Joe Dispenza there and his work, he says the same thing as well too. He is a successful businessman as well as a neuroscientist, and all of these responsibilities he says that he has, and he reacts, he said, every single day. But it's how long he actually stays in the reaction mode that determines his manifestations. And when I was actually reading one of his books the other day, there was a story in it that this man, one of his friends, he was talking about one of his friends in the book Supernatural, who had been starting to do these meditations and embodying this new person, becoming this new personality. And he rings up Dr. Joe Dispenza and says, so I've been doing these meditations and I'm after getting fired from my job. Why is this happening in my reality when I'm doing the work? But Dr. Joe Dispenza was saying that chaos can happen sometimes when we are actually elevating and becoming this new person. And so he told him to just continue to do the work. And as he continued to do the work, what happened was he actually met the woman he was going to marry within 2 weeks later. And he got a better job, actually. And a year later, the job that actually fired him came back to him and asked him if he would be interested in working for them again. So this is why it's a process, and this is why it is a daily process. It's a lifestyle change. When we actually want to create different outcomes in our reality, there is a genuine shift into a new lifestyle of being the person that you want to be. So no matter what is going on in your reality, it is always going to change, because change is the only constant, and your thoughts are the most powerful thing in this whole universe. It's basically a thought universe, you could say, because our thoughts are the the electric magnetic thing that actually creates in the reality. Everything is created from our thoughts. And when we look at anything that is created with atoms, if we look to science, for example, there are atoms in everything. Everything is alive. Even a chair, a table, there are atoms in that, and everything is alive, which means that we are connected to absolutely everything. Now, when you put an intention out there and you continue to think about that intention, and you don't have to be thinking about it 24/7, it's more of thinking it for a while in order to believe it. Now, I know that manifestations can show up before you believe it, but you continue with the repetition and you persist, because once you actually get into that alignment of genuine believement, it maintains and sustains in your reality. There was another experiment that was done. I'm going to talk about this quickly. Dr. Joe Dispenza as well too talked about this experiment where the chickens actually, before the chickens hatch, it's like when the first person or the first animal or anything they see, as soon as they hatch, they automatically think that that is their mother, and they will follow this, even if it's a human or if it's a dog and it's not an actual hen, they will follow this human or dog around thinking that it is their mother, because that is the intention that they put on it. So what the scientists did was had a robot. This robot went around the place and was going all around the place to see if the chickens would follow the robot. If they hatched, saw the robot and intended that this was their mother, and sure enough they did. They followed the robot around all around the place because when they hatched, they believed that this robot was their mother. Now, the cool thing, what happened was they put the chickens away, and the robot, because the intention was put on the robot, like a robot doesn't is not human. It doesn't have a heart or anything like that, like the way an animal would. But what happened was, when they put the chicken away, the robot actually ended up following where the chicken was. So there was obviously some sort of connection, that even when the chicken was not following the robot around, when it was put away in the cage, the robot decided to go towards the cage and didn't move away from the cage, which was very, very fascinating, because it meant that this chicken had put the intention on the robot that this robot was their mother when they hatched from the egg. And then when the chicken wasn't following them around, the robot had this automatic response to actually go over to where the chicken was in the cage and stay there beside the chicken. So what that actually kind of looks to me anyway is that I know robots are not real, and at the moment anyway we don't know, but in this experiment anyway, where this robot was not real, but there are atoms alive in everything. And so what this means is we are connected to everything. So when we are struggling with our 3D or struggling with our circumstances, it's really all about is to redirect. It's to pull ourselves back a little bit and look at, I'm not discrediting what anyone goes through, because I go through it myself as well too, but there has to be a level of, okay, I've had my little moment there, and now I got to get back onto all of my practices, my meditations and breath work and all of that, to get myself back into stability, because I know that it's actually my authenticity, the confidence in myself and my authenticity that is what is creating, because my intentions are more pure then. And because my intentions are more pure, they're coming from more of a belief standpoint. I'm embodying it a lot more. And then obviously then if I'm embodying it more, it's going to be more maintainable and sustainable in my reality. So I just kind of wanted to bring an awareness there back onto your power is always within you. It's never ever outside of you. It is always within you, and your intentions come from within. So even when you see things in your reality that are desirable to you, that you want this new car, new house, money, everything, and all of these outside perspectives, that intention is still always coming from you, because it's coming from your perception of how you perceive this beautiful house, how you perceive this partner that you want, how you perceive this car, money, and everything like that. It's all coming from within you. So if it's all coming from within you, and your circumstances are not highlighting exactly what you want to see right now, that is when we have to just redirect and bring ourselves back into the awareness that there's nothing actually outside of the awareness of I am, of who I am right here in this moment within me, not outside me, not even the I am, because I am can imply an identity, but we're simply just an awareness. And then when we actually come to this realization, we understand then that it's all just kind of one consciousness. And if it's one consciousness, it means that we are actually connected to everything that is conscious as well too, because we can call it into our consciousness as we are doing these affirmations of repetition or meditations or anything that we are doing for a few minutes outside of our day, to call in what it is that we desire to experience and to embody the person who actually identifies as this person who maintains and sustains exactly what they want in their reality. So I thought I'd make a quick video on that, and I will chat to you soon.